Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be giving you my picks for the top 10 basketball shoes from arguably the best brand in this category right now. In case you weren't sure about this, Li-Ning and BadFive basically function like Nike and Jordan brand. Also Under Armour and Curry brand before the breakup, I guess. Obviously Nike remains undefeated with their athlete marketing and sponsorship. But for shoes like the All Cities, 808, Jimmy Butler's, I've noticed a rise in their popularity in my local gyms. Here I want to clarify, I am not a Nike hater, but GT Cut 4, LeBron 23, ew. Foot Locker actually sent me this. And is it still the worst shoe of the year? Yes. Don't bite the hand that fingers you. I don't care. I know we care the most about how good or bad the product truly is. And if you want to go for functionality, top tier performance versus hype, maybe drop a like on the video before we begin. I'll leave you links to get all of these mentioned in the description box as well. One thing I gotta say, you'll be surprised at how many different models, lines they have. 20 to 30 unique pairs available, something like that. These are all their most recent performance basketball shoes, by the way. I haven't gotten a chance to get their Gamma 2 yet, but I definitely will at some point. So that's one we'll either add to the list or we'll see. Anyways, let's rank them all. We're doing a top 10 list, but the real meat of it is really the top 5 because those are not only top 5 within the brand, within Chinese brands, but among hoop shoes from all brands, they are top 5 worthy too, based on my experience playing them. I only have one honorable mention and we'll go through it quick. Speed 12, a specialty guard shoe. Very light, very grippy. It's got their GCU also instead of traditional rubber. To summarize everything in one line for you, 10 out of 10 traction, 5 out of 10 cushion. That's it. Even though the setup is full length boom, there's really no softness, plushness, or impressive comfort from the midsole, partly due to the amount of caging. Okay, starting off at number 10, I have one from a very underrated, very affordable series, and that is the BadFive 5. You can get these on Kick's Own right now for about 90 bucks. At this price, it's got Super Boom in it. Well, not as crazy as their premium models, loaded with full-length Super Boom, but it's placed partially in the forefoot and heel. We'll take it. Here, I just want to make a reference point. For Li-Ning and BadFive shoes, Boom is kind of like their version of the Adidas Boost. Super Boom is at least equally as bouncy, sometimes bouncier, but it is much lighter because of the lower density, so the weight reduction from the foam is a key benefit. Light Foam Plus, Light Foam Ultra, Cloud Foam, these are more like their older tech, and usually they only use it as a firm foam carrier nowadays. So expect to see a lot of Boom. While that type of cushion is already sufficient, Super Boom can be the difference maker. Back to the BadFive 5, traction is great. More importantly, durability is excellent. This is a very outdoor friendly shoe. You can use it on concrete, asphalt, indoor hardwood, pretty much any court condition. Not too hard or stiff for indoors, not too soft for outdoors. Very nice value here. A little bit more padding and support would have been nice, but not much to complain about for a shoe under $100. Next up at number 9, I have the D-Lo 1. So D'Angelo Russell has been signed to D-Wade for a few years now, but only last year did they release his first official signature shoe. And man, these are gorgeous. One of the best looking silhouettes on the market, in my personal opinion. It's got that butterfly-esque design around the midsole TPU clips. Playing in that triple black pair with the touch of gold actually felt like playing in a Kobe. Full length Boom, $119 on the official BadFive side. Not a brick. Some highlights to me are the core feel. Your feet stay very low to the ground. Smooth transition. Traction, no problems at all. Downsides, it is a pretty narrow shoe. Some break-in time is needed for the material to stretch out a little bit. And for those looking for a really bouncy setup, there will be better ones next. All right, we'll keep going. At just one spot higher, I'm putting another BadFive shoe at the exact same price here, and that is the Flash 2. Interestingly, they also have a black and yellow colorway that looks fantastic to me. I'll let you be the judge on the design. Their predecessors, Son of Flash and First Wave Flash, were both very popular and very affordable. The key identity of this series is being lightweight and lightning quick. Flash 2 saw an upgrade in the cushion department. Booms throughout the entire midsole now. Kinda delicious when you press down on the heel, let's say. Traction and durability are checked off. Playing in these, you feel really fast, as the name advertises, I guess. A super light, minimal feeling. But the biggest weakness is for sure that cheap material. Don't expect any decent support from the upper. Look how flimsy the tongue is. Easier to use than the Dilo 1. You can shred off even more weight on your feet while having the same cushion. So that's why I have this a tiny bit higher. Coming in at number 7, this is an outdoor beast. For those who watch my video on it, you probably know already. Whenever people say, what's the best shoe for outdoor use right now? This is one that immediately comes to mind. Still the one, I can say. Li-Ning Jie Ao 2. That also is literally a tank. Their tough OS rubber can hold up perfectly in the long run. Same applies to the first version, but the 2 has better cushion. From light foam plus to boom, that is an upgrade. It's pretty rare to have such a stable and durable shoe with a nice core feel. Also lightweight, not bottom heavy. Some shoes are tanky because they're heavy or cage way too much. Another thing with this shoe is that the upper is fully armored up too. You don't have to worry about any particular area tearing apart under heavy usage. Really rigid. So with this one, yeah, it's an outdoor specialty shoe. You do have to know what to expect. Not so flexible, not so soft or foamy, but sturdy, well guarded, safe, and effective. I think the Jie Ao 3 is coming out soon. We'll be getting them. Yes, sir. At number 6, this is one that a lot of people probably anticipated to be higher on the list. Still great, but compared to its previous version, yeah, it has dropped a bit. And I'm talking about the JB4. Jimmy Butler's signature line has always had top-notch quality, innovative features, nice presentation, also a premium setup within the brand. Here on the JB4, it's essentially the Wave Weight 11 midsole construction, where they sandwich a carbon fiber plate in between the boom foam. So you can feel the springiness from the plate, also the foamy effect from the midsole. Bouncy, yes. GCU also. Grippy, yes. Very. So the upsides are clear, traction and bounciness. Oh, and also a spacious fit in general. However, downside, pinching from the upper. I was getting some $210 Nike shoe flashbacks. Not in the good way. Got a blister on my pinky toe after a long sesh. I don't like how it bends. Not so fluent and comfortable. They're slightly bottom heavy. Might not be fast enough for some players, I believe. A little bit of heel slippage too. So I say the JB3 from a year or two ago was better. Moving into my top 5, like I said earlier in the video, these 5, maybe you could interchange their rankings based on your preference, but it's hard to deny that all of them are just amazing performers across the board. We're starting with the Liren 6. Very well balanced in almost every aspect. You get their tough RB also. Durable for outdoors, really effective for indoors. This Buzz Lightyear colorway that I have, the translucent also does pick up quite a lot of dust, but it's never affected the performance. One of the bounciest low-top basketball shoes on the market. Really easy to jump with. You get a nice push in the forefoot. Pretty light too, of course. The most impressive part, it's got just the right amount of caging around the heel. That TPU piece is carved out partially to allow you to feel the softness from the foam, but it does its job to guard the midsole and help with impact protection at the same time. Still on the narrower side, unfortunately. But hey, if you told me to name some weaknesses on this shoe, nothing in particular that comes to mind. I'm not expecting major changes on the V2, probably some slight tweaks here and there, but that's coming up very soon. Number 4 is a shoe that I've talked about a ton in the past few months. 808.5 Ultra V2. Alright, now we're talking Super Boom. That's without a doubt the prominent feature on this model. A full-length Super Boom drop-in midsole. A lot of bounce at a minimal weight, basically. That's something that doesn't really need an adjustment period. You feel the dynamic effect right away. To me, this is 100% the best one from the 808 series. Lighter than all of its previous versions. Bouncier than ever, too. Do not size up. I suggest true to size for slightly wide and wide feet, half size down for those with medium to narrow feet. Honestly, this is more so personal preference. I don't even like drop-in midsole shoes that much, but for those who have this, let us know what you think in the comments. I think most people will appreciate this delicious drop-in midsole. As simple as that. V2 has a slightly more supportive upper. Not a huge difference. Next, so these two I was going back and forth between 3rd and 4th place, because it also has Super Boom in it. All City 14. The setup is a combination of Boom and Super Boom. On paper, a little bit less than the 808.5. In reality, just as bouncy. A traditional midsole construction, but a really responsive one. Better bounce compared to the All City 13 and 13 Encore. Only if we're nitpicking, I found the All City 14 to be a tiny bit more stable on feet, while the 808.5 has more of a curve shape. So if you prefer a nice rocking motion that keeps you floating around, maybe the 808s. But the All Cities are like a shoe that can boost you up when you need it, if that makes sense. Fun to use and easy to jump with. Tough RB also, good for outdoors too. I do wish the upper could be more supportive. Like the quality of this tongue does not match the other features on the shoe, but it is what it is. Believe it or not, I see a lot of Ao cities on feet of others. That definitely says something about their cost efficiency. It's also good for guards, forwards, bigs too, and not too picky when it comes to your foot shape. Great choice from the brand, a relatively new release, already high up there. At number 2, could be a surprise, but these guys are something else. Yushuai 20. I'm looking at this list. The top 5 I ended up picking are actually all very bouncy shoes. And that's definitely the case with the newest Yushuai too. It feels like a modern version of the Nike Hyperfuse 2010, but like double the bounciness. Similar to the 18s and 19s, but here they introduced a brand new setup. They're calling it the G Boom. So they're essentially integrating the midsole and outsole. The goal is for you to feel that springing effect more. I did a pretty good job at that. Shoe feels like a jump pad. GCU on the bottom, no squeak, but a hard and consistent stop every time down the floor. Thin and not much padding on the interior. But did I ever feel like this shoe really lacks support? Nope. Plus it didn't hurt from anywhere on the upper. So not bad at all. Prices for the Yushuai usually cool down after a few months. I could spam the same moves over and over again in this shoe. I could have it as a safe backup whenever I'm not sure about another pair. I could stare at some of those beautiful colorways for hours. That might be an exaggeration, but it is bouncy to a point where I could even feel a nice lift on like a subtle floater off one leg. One of my favorite go-to shoes at the moment. Now the best performer from the brand goes to none other than the Wave 12. First off, price is just disgusting on it. That's the unfortunate part. $225 US or more, usually not less. Performance-wise, oh man, you're gonna have an absolute blast once you throw these on feet. We've talked a lot about how good Super Boom is. This shoe has a double layered Super Boom midsole. Not only is it full length, then they wrapped it with a Super Boom carrier too. Extremely bouncy. Getting up and down the court, moving around, backpedaling on defense, shifting sideways, they all feel effortless. Stepping on the cloud, really. Another part that surprised me even more is that upper. I would describe it as a bouncy upper as well. Comfy, spongy, supportive, but most importantly, it doesn't fold or bend awkwardly. That thermoplastic material on the toe box, for example, it just bounces back in shape after a while. So no pinching as a result. Traction is excellent too. That's almost granted at this point. I don't think these are suitable for outdoor use. And dust pickup could be a concern if you were to use them on a super dirty court. But overall, I would personally take this over the 11 and 10. Compared to the 11, this shoe will mold to your feet better. Versus the 10, it's got much better core feel, so you don't feel too elevated or even unstable. I know you can technically still find the Wave 10s online, but it's not like they went on sale after the 11 and 12 came out. Still a nasty price for the most part, even though it is an all-time performer. Sort of like LeBron, the Wild 10. Then the 12 would be Wemby or Sidney Sweeney, the hottest cornerstone of a franchise. That's not really a cornerstone, the flagship. So that concludes my list for the top 10 basketball shoes from Li-Ning and Wave. On top of them all are the Wave 12, Yushuai 20, Ao City 14, 808.5, and Liren. Again, if you're wondering where to get these, I'll have the links to each shoe in the description of this video. There are just a ton of good options available right now, I think. Aside from these ones that we talked about today, they also have the Sonic series, Shining series, Shadow series, Ice Blood, Fission from Wave, the Power series. In terms of market share and product variety, you can consider them the Nike among Chinese brands in a sense. Wishing everyone a happy, safe, and prosperous year of the horse. Lots of HP, lots of XP on the court, lots of new shoes in the collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon on this one.